but doing an act of kindness and not getting caught. Isn't that what they used to say? Do something kind for someone and don't get caught. In other words, don't tell anybody. You know what I used to do? I'm going to share it. I've never shared it. In the summertime, when I would see the electric company workers or the pavers, people who are doing the paving in our town, I would go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'd drive by them. I'd see how many men were there, women were there, but they were mostly men at the time. And then I would go to Dunkin' Donuts and I'd get a bunch of the big ice drinks, with all the pretty colors. And I would bring them, I'd just pull up and I'd give them all those really nice flavored drinks on a hot summer day. And I wouldn't tell anybody about it. It was just something I would do without sharing with anybody. And it felt so good to have, and I've never shared about it till this podcast, to have that in my awareness that I can do something for somebody else and not go look for cash and prizes, which is how I used to operate. I'm going to do something for you, but I want cash and prizes in return. And I don't have to do that anymore. It feels so much better to go do something and not share it with anybody and just know that you were of service to another human being that day and of service to God.
Because if we are sending out a thoughtful text, and really I am, and expecting a certain type of response in a certain amount of time, I'm not going to say, but I might know some people like that. They have a kind heart, but they need some sort of return. If you're finding that you're doing it, but you're wondering why it isn't working, because it is working, but you're looking, you have your what do we call that? Your motive is a little off.
Right.
And when I too didn't, I remember being in a meeting and somebody said, "Oh my gosh, I heard from Vinny's daughter all the stuff you were doing around his house when he was sick. That is so awesome of you." And I'm like, "Thank you." But again, Brenda, I didn't make announcements. I didn't put it in the Cheshire Herald. I didn't go up and down and tell everyone how great I am, because it isn't about me.
Yeah.
And that's the healing. So if you're feeling a little down, or you're feeling, we get stuck in self and we don't really see it, because how can we only think of us? And we don't see outside what's in it for me today? And why am I feeling this way? And, why is that person bothering me? And when we're in that, it's hard to think of how can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. Right. And I'm just, challenge you. If you're feeling a little off, or you're blaming, complaining, you're struggling, just take a breath and think, who can I best serve right now? How can I help somebody? Because I know for a fact, I asked that in the morning, and you said it, you got an inner prompting to say, "May I help you with that cart?" It first looked like the wrong thing to do, but then the right thing came through you. And then it connected why that inner prompting came to you. I don't ignore. Sometimes I get an inner prompting in the morning. Call so-and-so. Oh, I haven't talked to that dude in a while. And I call, dude, you couldn't have called at a better time. Like, I knew that. Of course I did, but I did, you know what I mean? I didn't need to know that. It came to me. Then you make the call. The people say, you couldn't have texted me at a better time. You couldn't have called me at a better time. You show up at a house. Last night, a neighbor lost her dog way too soon. And Molly and I walked down to the house with a mom and a card, only to be there in her time of healing. And she was blown away. And did I do it for the blow away? Or did I tell all the other neighbors, look at how good we are? No, because I believe what goes around comes around.